All right, we're going live. We're going live. Quick sign in. All right, Patriot Radio. We didn't do our normal sign in because we've done this show 3 times. We're calling it Don't Burn Down the Reichstag Hour. And it's talking about how the Nazis burned down their own country to get rid of the liberals. And that's what happened. They burned down the Capitol. The Germans, the Nazis in Germany. And whenever, 1933, whatever, they burned down the Reichstag, the Capitol building. And they blamed it on the Jews, the communists, the liberal left, because they were the far-right National Socialists. Same thing's happening in America. That's what I'm telling you. You can't be a MAGA Nazi. You can be a Republican. Like, for example, 2 of my buddies just came by. Both of them support Trump, and I love them. They're cool guys. We don't talk about Trump. But they're not out there either talking about rotten hell on Christmas. They just, for whatever reason, they're going to vote for Donald Trump, and I'm not going to discuss it with them because I don't want to argue with them because I like them. But they're also not out there. They don't hate Jews. They don't hate Muslims. They get along. They're actually very protective about black people, and they don't believe in racism. They don't even like people flying the Confederate flag, and these are country people, and it's because they're Christian. But they still support Trump. And I'm not going to go into that. If they want to support Trump, they can. They don't act like MAGA Nazis. If you want, what I'm saying is you want to support Donald Trump, just don't act like a MAGA Nazi. You can't be rotten hell and all this stuff. We're looking at the border. I figured out the border. It's a MAGA Nazi insider job. Where are they crossing the border? Texas. The governor's like, I'm going to put up floating barriers and concertina wire. I'm not going to do what the government says. We're going to arrest them. They ship them all over the country. It's like, well, if you're not going to do what the government says, why are you letting them in our country? I see them. They're not fighting to get past the National Guard. And that's Texas National Guard, Texas troopers. They're Texas border guards. They all live there in Texas. They're doing what the governor says, whether they're federal employees or not. They're letting them come in. You see them. Come on in. And they put them on buses and ship them all over the country. That's a MAGA. That's a National Socialist Nazi move. That's a Hitler move. You bring the immigrants in, and then you blame it on the existing government. You're like, look, there's immigrants everywhere. They're coming in over the border, 8,000 at a time. You're letting them across. I'm watching. You tell them to come on. You can see them pointing at the bus. Get on the bus. Get on the bus. That's the Texas MAGA people. They are burning down the Reichstag. It's the same thing, burning down the Reichstag. When they attacked the Capitol January 6th, burning down the Reichstag, same thing. And now are they doing it? They're blaming it on FBI. They're saying the FBI had people in there. I listen to True News. I used to listen to True News all the time. Rick Wiles, True News. It's a big media thing, like Midas Touch. Midas Touch passed way bigger. It's because Midas Touch tells the truth. True News lost a lot of its viewers, people like me. I'm a Republican, far-right Christian. But they started talking crazy Nazi shit. Everything was Nazi. Or like the vaccine. They all got sick because they didn't take their vaccines. And then they blamed it on somebody with the vaccine. They said they were shedding. Someone with the vaccine came into True News and was shedding the virus. They don't put none of the viruses in the shot. That's not how it works. They're thinking about some 1930s shot because they're dumb. They're old fucking hillbillies. Even this guy, Rick Wiles, he's an old racist redneck. That's all he is. And like I said, dude, I live in the country. Most of my friends are country. I hang around white people, Republicans. This is what I do. I mean, I got black friends and I hang around black people too, but who am I around? White Republicans. I just tell the truth. So I see what's going on. I know what's going on in my party and what these people are saying. And I was just watch TV and look at Donald Trump. Rotten hell on Christmas. You can't be like that, man. And you can't burn down the Reichstag. and blame it on the Jews like Hitler did. That's how they kicked it off. That's how they got rid of their political opposition in Germany. They burnt down the Capitol building, which they never used anyway. They didn't even use it. They never used it again. I mean, the Reichstag, the chancellery, the Nazi chancellery was the main thing. That's one reason they burned it down too. They're like, that's where the seat of government is. That's where democracy is, the Reichstag. And the Nazis burnt the Reichstag down. We know that now. You still got these QAnon people and people that deny the Holocaust say the Jews burnt the Reichstag and it was the Jews' fault. You're full of shit. You are so full of shit. The Nazis burned down their own capital. Then they arrested all the communists, the liberals. It's just a fact. They arrested the far left liberals. They arrested anyone who opposed Hitler and killed him. Killed him. The night of the long knives. He killed his political opposition. That's what Nazis do. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. If Donald Trump could, he would kill. He would kill all the other politicians. He would. That's not Christian. That's what I'm saying. That's why y'all got to put a stop to it. You Republicans, this is your party. You have to put a stop to this MAGA Nazi stuff. Because the people I know are good old country boys. You really ain't Nazis. So why are you doing this? I don't get it. You're not Nazis. I grew up with you. You weren't Nazis. You might have been long live the South and, fly your rebel flag, but we don't like Nazis either. That's the Confederacy. Nazi is totally different. Adolf Hitler, you're not going to do anything. First of all, they're going to take all your guns. Citizens cannot have guns. Only the army. That's Nazi. If you think you're going to have all your militias no. Hitler didn't allow that. You weren't allowed to go have opposition militia or anything. You had to be in the SS or in the SA or in the Hitler Youth. You could not do what you wanted to do in Nazi Germany. I'm telling y'all think this Nazi shit's cool. You ain't gonna like it once it turns Nazi. You're gonna be fighting them, just like our granddads did. I'm like, don't you remember our granddad? Your granddaddy killed Nazis, and now you a Nazi. That just makes no fucking sense to me. It just doesn't. It's definitely not Christian. And these people call themselves Christian nationalists. That's heresy. You are basically perverting the name of God to use violence against political opponents. You're using God. If there is a hell, you went straight to it. Oh, yeah, thank you. I know. All right. Okay, calm down. Yes, they're Nazis and they're going to hell. What are you going to do? The hell's full of Nazis. It's the fact. There's no Nazis in heaven. Not one. No, not one Nazi in heaven. Every Nazi is in hell. And that's hate. If you hate the Jewish people, God's chosen people, you really think you're going to heaven. That's God's chosen people. Whether you like them or not, whatever the Bible says, whether God forsake them, God also says he will take them back. Nowhere in the Bible does it say the Jews are disowned forever. It says, I'm going to beat them down. I'm going to teach them. I'm going to kick their ass. I'm going to destroy the temple. We're gonna make these Jews learn, but you're still my people. My people. That's God talking. You better watch yourself, Nazi. You messing with God's people. And I don't even like what the Jews are doing in Palestine. I don't agree. Still God's people. That's still God's people. God's got their back. That's all there is to it. And when God's got your back, you better look the fuck out. You don't want to mess with them. That's why Israel wins. Look at them. They fight everybody. We win. Because God's got their back. How do you think they win all these wars? All these wars, they win them all. All of them. You can't beat the Jews because they got God right behind them. It's just a fact. Get your head out your hiney hole. Here on Patriot Radio.